formally adopted in 2009, but it got started in 1998. So like, what was like the evolution of this document?
Essentially, yeah, it's a collaborative effort with many, many different opinions solicited. As I probably don't need to tell you, transhumanism is a very broad and diverse movement that all sorts of people contributed to this the declaration, just as they did to the frequently asked questions. I mean, if anything, since then, the movement, transhumanist movement, has become more diverse. Some might say more fragmented or balkanized. But I think one can trace the continuities too, in the sense that almost, yeah, I would say all transhumanists believe in defeating the biology of aging. I mean, there are some transhumanists focus very much on biology. Others, because worries about kind of realistic timescales, focus on cryonics or even cryothanasia. Others anticipating something like mind uploading. Very speculative. I'm a skeptic there, but nonetheless, that super, I would say, all transhumanists would sign up to. In the case of superintelligence, intelligence amplification, once again, I think probably all transhumanists would agree, but there are strong differences, different current conceptions of superintelligence. After all, the very notion of intelligence is strongly contested, and simply adding super in front of it isn't particularly illuminating. Crudely, and I stress crudely, I tend to divide conceptions of post-human superintelligence into people who anticipate that our successors will also be our biological descendants, genetically rewritten, massively enhanced and augmented, and perhaps sort of new AI on a neurochip. You know, think of Elon Musk Neuralink, but still, nonetheless, anticipating post-human superintelligence as us, or rather, yeah, retaining a biological core. And then there are the Kurzweilians, the kind of singularitarians, who essentially believe in a complete fusion of humans and our machines, so that there ceases to be any distinction at all. Many Kurzweilians believe in a kind of mind uploading scenario. But there's also this conception of post-human superintelligence. Essentially, it originates with I.J. Good, mathematician, back in 1965, developed hugely by Eliezer Yudkowsky and Miri, and formalized Nick Bostrom in his magisterial superintelligence. Yeah, the intelligence explosion in the sense of recursively self-improving AI that is software-based, and the idea of some so-called FOOM scenario of runaway software-based superintelligence. And superintelligence in this conception essentially might have no place for anything resembling humans, as this worry of will post-human superintelligence be sentience friendly. So yeah, crude trichotomy there, but all transhumanists would probably subscribe to some notion of superintelligence. The third super, I would say only a minority of transhumanists make this their main focus, i.e. the idea of getting rid of suffering in favor of super happiness. The argument being, for example, that, well, if we have superintelligence, superintelligence will be able to do this anyway. But yeah, this is the idea, you know, that yeah, thanks to natural selection, unspeakable pain, misery, and suffering in the world, depression, pain disorders. But biotechnology promises control over our reward circuitry. And this is the thing that I really stress. It's not a question of blissing out, that if we can recalibrate our hedonic range and recalibrate our hedonic set points, it'll be possible to have a novel architecture of mind, life based on gradients of intelligent bliss. And I think this was what really interested Nick. As I needn't stress, intelligent, very, very important to Nick, and the idea that it was possible to have an architecture of mind that was entirely well-being based. And if you have life based on gradients of intelligent bliss, it doesn't involve changing your core values and your preference architecture. It just means that your default settings can be immeasurably higher than today. And I think the abolitionist project, it should be extended not just to all humans, but throughout the living world. Trivially obvious, well, at least I would say it's trivially obvious, we should get rid of the horrors of factory farming and slaughterhouses, cultured meat, which back in 1995, 1998 was still sci-fi. It's coming. This revolution is coming.